Good evening. My name is Ryan Quick. I am the Tobacco and Youth Program Coordinator at Mariposa Community Health Center, and I am your host today for We Love Nogales. I'm super excited to be here. I am with some of my youth from the Mariposa Youth Coalition, and we're here to talk about, what they do, what we're doing for our community. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bonillas. I am a senior at Nogales High School, and it's my third year in Mariposa Youth Coalition, and I am currently the co-chair for the group.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Juan Mezquita. I'm a sophomore in Nogales High School, and this is my first year in NYC.
Hi everyone, my name is Audra Bailo. I'm a senior at Nogales High School. This is my third year in the club, and I'm the secretary for the group.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you guys for being here with us today. I know you guys have lots of homework to do, but hopefully this will be fun. So first off, let's kind of go over what is MYC.
So MYC stands for Mariposa Youth Coalition. It is a student-run program by high school students. Right now we have members from around the community, including Nogales High School, Lourdes, and Rio Rico High School. Our goal for the program is to raise awareness on tobacco prevention and educating the community on the effects of tobacco and tobacco products. And our goal this year is to have tobacco-free parks.
Awesome. And Michelle, about how many members are in MYC right now?
Currently we have about 40 members in the program.
Awesome. So we have about 40 members, and we have a few different committees that are going on right now in NYC. So we have our leadership team, so that's with our co-chair, our secretary, our historian, positions like that. We have our park policy committee, and they're students that are working on park policy initiatives. So they're focusing on right now the city of Nogales and looking at implementing a tobacco and vape-free park policy. So they're gathering information, they're doing research, they've drafted a policy, and next they're starting to look into meeting with some of our officials, right? So with the city council members and some members from the Parks and Recreation group. So they're working on that. It's student run. I'm just their mentor, their guide through this for the coalition. So it's awesome to see the work that they're doing. As well, we have a committee right now that's working on a clothing drive. So every once in a while we have community service opportunities pop up. We'll make a smaller committee for that. So it's pretty awesome because we have lots of kids doing lots of different activities. So what is STAND?
So STAND stands for Students Taking a New Direction. What it is when coalitions from around the state of Arizona get together. They get together about twice a year. What they do is they share their progress with each other about what they've been doing in their groups, how they're informing people about tobacco use, and we get to just bond with each other and get to know each other.
Yeah. So a little more information. So Mariposa Community Health Center, we have a grant from the Arizona Department of Health Services, Bureau of Chronic Disease and Health Promotion through the Tobacco Office. So we have different tobacco programs. I do a lot of education in the schools, working with our DARE officer for Nogales, just different things like that, different activities, enrolling our adults into the ASH line program, which is state quit line. And one huge component, though, of that grant is having a STAND coalition or a STAND chapter. So MYC falls under that. We work closely with PIMA Prevention Partnership. As well, there's coalitions represented in over 15 counties. I think there's over 35 coalitions now. And it's just really awesome that Santa Cruz County is represented. We're trying to serve the whole county, which I think is great. We're trying right now to work a little bit more in the northern part of the county with a model. So it's pretty awesome that our students are interested in this subject, that they're doing it. Like Michelle said, it's pretty much student run. They're telling me the activities that they want to do, and we're just, putting those things into action. So talking about those activities, let's share some of the activities that MYC does.
So some of the activities that NYC does is something that we do is called park cleanups, and those park cleanups we go to like City Hall and clean them up. Recently, like 2 weeks ago, we had one which we collected over 200 cigarette butts just at City Hall, and like you can see,
we brought some to show you.
We brought some tobacco cigarette butts that we collected in City Hall. Most of them were collected there. There's much more of them. and as you can tell, there's a lot. As NYC, we're just trying to clean the parks up and make it a better community. And something else that we do is that we go to Las Casitas, where the senior citizens live, and we make arts and crafts with them and just bond with them.
We also do different activities. We usually meet once every 2 weeks for meetings. Our meetings usually involve activities that we want to share with the community. Recently, we did an activity for the pediatric rooms, where we did posters that represented activities that the youth can do instead of vaping and smoking. We usually go to stand meetings, conferences. We do a lot of activities. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So the students are coming up with the activities, so they're celebrating different national events, so like Kick Butts Day, World No Tobacco Day, Great American Smoke Out. Today we're celebrating the National Day of Action, which we'll get into in a little bit. So they're just doing different types of activities, and we do a lot of it through art pieces. So one time our group made a piñata that looked like lungs, and the stick was a giant cigarette, right? Because cigarettes will beat up your lungs. So it's pretty cool to try those different arts and crafts. Can you guys talk a little bit more about why we're at Las Casitas, right? Because, you know, we're a youth club, we're focusing on tobacco, on prevention, but why is it that we would go work in Las Casitas a couple times a year?
So Mariposa Youth Coalition gives us the opportunity to get involved with the community and bond with the community, and not just only share our the education that we have with youth, but also elderly people. So it gives us the opportunity to share what we're doing, share our goals, and also bond with them and connect with them.
So the main reason why we go to Las Casitas is just to do community service, but in that community service we go and just communicate with them, show them what we're doing and what we're trying to do to create a new impact in our community and how to help the community out.
It's especially nice when we go to Las Casitas during Thanksgiving time, because that's really the time of the year where we want to give back to our community and share with others. And by doing that and spending time with the senior citizens, it's a great way to give back.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun, right? So we make like arts and crafts, we'll buy them coffee, we'll do cookies, and it's just a nice way for our kids to give back. You know, we're focusing on the goals for the club, but we also want to focus on our community. Last year we were in the Nogales Christmas Parade, which was pretty fun. We had a giant Christmas box that we made, and you know, we're just figuring out different ways to be involved. So I think it's pretty awesome. So you guys were talking about like a meeting, right? So we have meetings about twice a month, depending. What does it look like? What happens when you walk into that meeting space? What are we doing?
Well, the first thing that we look for is the food, because Ryan brings us great snacks. We talk about the upcoming activities that we're going to do as a club. We also get together the separate committees, like the leadership committee or the policy committee, and we have different meetings concerning what they're going to be doing individually.
And when you walk in, you just see a big tray of food, fine cuts that Ryan makes of fruit. It's pretty good. After we all eat, just talk for a little bit. After that, we get into the things we're doing, like the park cleanups or the tobacco-free parks. It's pretty chill what we do.
Yeah, we try to make it fun, right? So Michelle and Audra are part of the leadership committee, so they're always, you know, giving me the ideas like what snack to bring or what icebreaker to do. So it's pretty cool. I try to make sure that it is student run, you know, as much as possible. So they're pretty fun. I enjoy it. You know, I'm the adult leader for the group, but I just love hanging out with them and hearing their ideas and sharing those stories, and just really seeing everything it is that they have to offer for our community. It's just amazing. So I love working with you guys, just so you guys know, if I don't tell you that enough. Okay, so let's see. Why did you guys join NYC? Because you guys are busy. I know you guys are in clubs. You guys are good students. You have lots of homework. But why are you making time out of your schedule to be in NYC?
So for myself, after being in the Summer Youth Institute by Mariposa, I wanted to involve myself in the community way more, because I felt like I wasn't involved as much. I wanted to share the knowledge that they provided me with the community, not only teaching about tobacco, but other problems that are currently happening in the community. I wanted to not only do something fun, but also make an impact around the community. And after being there for 3 years, I think I can say that I love it.
Also, as Michelle said, SYI was a pretty fun experience. All of you joined. And
Yes, please do.
all the things that I learned with Ryan was pretty awesome, and just the communication that we had and all the education that I learned. I wanted to further on continue that with other teens in our community and just teach them and aware them of what is going on.
So after I finished SYI, I learned so much, especially about tobacco and how it affects us. And after finishing SYI, by joining NYC, I was able to continue learning about it, and I was able to inform my peers and about how it affects them, and continue on my friendships with the people from SYI.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you more of a personal question now. So how has tobacco affected your guys' lives?
Me personally, both of my grandparents used to be really heavy smokers. A few years ago, my grandma passed away from pancreatic cancer and lung cancer due to all the smoking that she was doing. After that, my grandpa quit smoking because of the toll that he saw it took on all of us and how it kind of affected my family. And by being in NYC, I'm able to kind of share those experiences with other people and just inform others not to do it.
So thank you for sharing.
Something that really hits home for me is that one of my family members used to smoke, and when I was growing up, hearing all the screams for me was pretty traumatizing. And now, as I'm older, I want to prevent that from happening in families. So that's why I joined NYC.
Thank you, Juan.
So personally, I think that a lot of us have been impacted directly by tobacco usage. A lot of my family members have used and still use tobacco products, so I wanted to join Mariposa Youth Coalition as a way to not only get myself away from that negativity, but also like spread awareness and prevent others from using it.
Awesome. So, I share this with pretty much all the teens that I teach my classes on why I'm involved in this work. So I chose to work in tobacco prevention because tobacco impacted mostly my dad's side of the family, right? So tobacco, it's a drug. Sometimes we forget that it's a dangerous drug, even though it's legal and we see it all the time in stores. But for me, my dad was a heavy smoker. He was smoking 1 to 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And, he was coughing up blood, and it was just a big battle for him. And when I was 10 years old, I actually, lost my father from addiction. So he was a smoker and became an alcoholic. With my grandfather, my dad's dad, he was a smoker for a long, long time. He ended up getting bladder cancer from it. And, it's just the effects that it holds on people and what happens to their families is just huge. My uncles are smokers. My aunt was a smoker. She ended up being addicted to prescription painkillers, just those different things. So when I had to choose what career I was getting into, I fell in love with the career of public health. And when I had to get more specific into a topic area, I thought, well, you know what? I have experiences. I've seen what happens to families, how they're destroyed, how starting something when you're 16 can lead to, an early death at 48 with 2 kids behind. So that's kind of the reason why I got into it, and I just, want to make sure that you guys have all the information and the tools possible to make those decisions for yourself on, what type of life do you want to live. So, I thank you guys for sharing, because I know it's not always easy. But, it's a lot. Tobacco is a dangerous drug, and we do have to take it seriously, even though we see it and it's common and it's in movies and it's in the media and things like that. On that note, we'll take a short commercial break, and please stay tuned, and we have lots of more information to get into. So thank you. right, and we're back. So again, my name is Ryan Quick. We have Michelle, Audra, and Juan here today from the Mariposa Youth Coalition. And let's talk a little bit about what today is. So what is the National Day of Action?
So the National Day of Action is on October 9th, sorry. So it is today. That's why we're wearing these cool hats. It's a day where all youth and part of the coalition members can come together and encourage youth nationally to quit tobacco and prevent tobacco usage. It is organized by the Truth Initiative. As I said, it's a national event. We come together and talk about the effects on tobacco and raise awareness on the prevention of tobacco usage.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool because it is a national day. This is NYC's first year participating in the National Day of Action. So it's pretty awesome. Right now, about 70,000 young people across the United States in more than 200 events are celebrating National Day of Action, which is brought on by the Truth Initiative, which is one of the longest running and one of the most successful tobacco prevention campaigns for youth and young adults. They have really cool ads that you guys might be seeing on your Facebook, your Instagram, on Twitter. Right now, they're talking about humans are being used as like lab rats. So their hats right now says, "This human is for animals against human testing." So they're kind of focusing on like the animal's perspective. Like if an animal doesn't want to be a test subject, they don't want our humans to be test subjects too. So it's pretty cool. I encourage you guys to check out their website. Truth has always been about exposing big tobacco's tricks and getting facts in front of young people. So they want to make sure that our young people have all the information, all the facts, so that they can be empowered to make their own decisions. And that, you know, kind of goes along with what we're doing in NYC. We're trying to get the facts out there so that our young people can make those healthy decisions. E-cigarettes right now, otherwise known as vape or Juul or mods or pods, they have all different types of names, are basically electronic nicotine delivery systems. So it's like an electronic cigarette, right? So that's why they're called e-cigs. And right now it's the new fad, the new trend for the younger generations and how they're getting hooked on nicotine addiction. So it's really awesome that our students are participating. We took some pictures. If you guys want to maybe go over the pictures we just took, we're going to make posters.
So as Ryan said, it is our first year participating in this event. So we wanted to do something fun and something cool. So for this year, we decided to make little posters that had some sayings that we took with our pets. For example, I took a picture with my pet that said, humans are our friends, not lab rats, or stuff like that. I don't know if you guys want to share something.
I took a picture of my fat chihuahua saying, "Just don't Juul," like Nike says, "Just do it," or "Stop using my human as a lab rat," and it doesn't amuse me to see my owner Juul, and she's all serious.
Yeah, yeah, they have cute dogs. I know throughout the show today, you'll see some of those pictures.
And I dressed up my dog so he wouldn't look as ugly as he really is. But his little poster was saying, "Vaping is bad. It doesn't make my tail wag."
Aw, that's so cute. Yeah, so it was a fun project. You know, they got to take pictures with their pets, and their pets are kind of like on their side, you know. And we're gonna be putting those together, so you guys should be seeing some posters around Nogales pretty soon. And it's just awesome that the kids, you know, are coming up with different types of art. So a fact, the FDA's data is showing that 97% of young people who vape are using flavored e-cigarettes. So flavors is a huge marketing tactic on selling towards teens. So we're trying to spread the word. Some of our posters will have some more information on that. Real quick though, I do want to say, because we're focusing on juuling and on vape, that if anyone out there wants to get connected with some daily support, there is a free and anonymous quit vaping text program from Truth. So if you're interested, you just need to text Ditch Juul, DITCHJUUL, to 88709. Ditch Juul to 88709. It's free, and it's a nice support system for our young people that are trying to quit Juul and quit vaping. You know, it's a really hard addiction that our teens don't really realize that they're getting into. You know, our Juul and vape products are nicotine products, so they're designed for addiction, basically. So we're trying to give out some resources about that. So let's get back into this. What do you guys wish other teens knew about tobacco and vape?
Something I wish teens knew is that they're being used of lab rats, and lab rats are usually like just experiment on it. And the simple fact they're putting nicotine in their bodies, that's rewiring their brain system, making them want more and more nicotine, and just affecting their mood overall. It even can cause depression, anxiety, and it can lead to multiple different types of mental health illnesses as well. And just they need to be aware about what they're doing.
I would like teens to know that it not only affects you, but it affects everything else around you, not just your family or your friends or whoever you're around with, but also like the environment. A lot of us are very involved in keeping the environment safe and protecting the environment, so I would like them to know that it does affect the environment and it does take a toll on it. So just be more careful, and just as Juan said, you're being used as lab rats. We really don't know what's inside of those products. There has been a lot of recent deaths over Juuls and vape products. So it just connects back to being used as experiments.
I think teens should be more aware of the fact that if they use Juuls and if they vape, they may think that it's not going to harm them personally. They may think, I'm the one in I'm not going to be the one in a million, you know, it's not going to hurt me, it's just one time, I'm not going to get addicted. But that's not true at all. They will be affected by it, whether it's them or their family or friends, whether they're sick or something happens to them and then the family is affected. So it's a cycle that goes around.
Exactly.
And something else is that labels that they put on the Juul pods, they lie. It can say that they have 3% nicotine, but really it could have up to 20, 30%, making it more addicted, and just, you don't know that. You're being fooled by the labels.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's actually something that's been coming up. A lot of our teens that have experimented with vape and Juul think that they're only inhaling flavor or water vapor or some other myth, but they are nicotine products. They're nicotine delivery products. So those labels sometimes are actually mislabeled. And the state of Arizona is doing testing on those Juul and vape products to see how much nicotine really is in them. And it's coming in at alarming rates, that most of them are actually containing nicotine, even though they might say that they're nicotine free. So there's a lot that's going on with it. Just to get into some facts real quick. So tobacco is one of the #1 leading preventable causes of death. So about 480,000, 500,000 people each year in the United States die from tobacco-related illnesses. So it's huge. You know, we're losing a lot of people. We've got 500,000 families that are affected. And, you know, 9 out of 10 users for tobacco are starting before age 18. So the epidemic starts young. If we're looking at cancer, you know, 90% of our lung cancers are coming from tobacco use. 30% of cancer in general is coming from tobacco use. It's a serious problem whether you're smoking, whether you're chewing, whether you're vaping. You're putting in dangerous chemicals in your body. If we were to look at one cigarette contains about 4,000 chemicals. When we light on fire, there's 7,200 chemicals in the smoke alone. So we're putting people at risk when it comes to secondhand smoke, thirdhand smoke. We're putting, you know, our community at risk, which is one of the reasons why the teens are focusing on the park policy. You know, parks are designed for our families to have fun, to do healthy activities, to have carne asadas, right? Like, we're looking at parks to be a family place where people can exercise and engage with their community. But when people are smoking or vaping, you know, there's the misconception that, you know, it's a big open space, so we're not affecting people around us. But even outside, people that are within a perimeter of 23 feet are actually inhaling those 7,200 chemicals. The litter alone is also hurting our parks. So cigarette butts, like we showed you guys earlier, is one of the most littered items in the world. There's about 4.5 trillion cigarette butts littered every year. And, you know, they don't just go away. They don't just get thrown in a landfill or anything like that. They're staying in our parks, they're staying in our ground, they're getting into our water systems. So, you know, I applaud the kids for taking time out to pick those up off the ground. You know, it's not easy. They're really hard to find, right, guys? Because they're super small. But even the trash that's being created from the Juul pods, you know, that's a lot of little pieces of plastic that's just getting thrown away. It's not recyclable. And I know our teens right now are really looking at taking care of our environment. NYC gives out reusable straws, you know, as one of our goodies. So it's pretty cool. And it's just a lot. You know, tobacco really is a big problem. We are seeing lots of room of improvement. So our tobacco and cigarette rates are going down. But because of Juul and vape products, we're starting to see everything start to climb back up. You know, our youth are exposed. Right now, it's in Santa Cruz County, the age for tobacco consumption is 18 years old. In certain counties in the state of Arizona, it's been raised to 21 years of age due to other stand coalitions, which is awesome. And in other states, they're raising their tobacco age to 21. And some of the reason being is, one, we don't want our youth to have access to these products. Because if we have an 18-year-old high school student, you know, a senior, they have, you know, the legal means to acquire those products, and then it starts to get passed around to our younger kids. Another thing to remember too is tobacco is a drug, and you can't have those on school campus. It's illegal. We can't have those on campus no matter how old you are. And we're just trying to do our best to prevent that and to educate. So NYC is focusing on the truth. We're not trying to use scare tactics. We don't want, you know, to pressure teens or guilt trip them into not using tobacco or a vape, but just let them know, you know, this is what can happen to your body. This is how it can impact your goals. You know, if you were caught with tobacco products or vape products on campus, you know, that can lead to a variety of different things: suspension, detention, you know, whatever the case may be. And that's going to impact your goals when it comes to scholarships, when it comes to looking for work, when it comes to colleges. You know, besides just the health effects, it's really about what are your goals and what are you going to do to achieve them. Is using tobacco and vape products going to help you achieve those goals? And the answer is always no, right? It doesn't help you if you're getting sick, if you're getting addicted, if you're spending all your money, right? I know, like, a Juul right now, I think last time we saw Juan, like a Juul starter kit was like what, $60?
60, 65.
Yeah, so that's $60, $65. And teens, you guys don't have a lot of money, right? Not really. You guys are always looking for ways.
We broke.
Yeah. Yeah, they're broke. They're always asking me for money. I say no. But, you know, you guys are always, you know, having like jobs and stuff, or you're doing chores at home, or you're borrowing, you know, asking Nana for $20 if you're being really good. You know, all those different things. And that money adds up. So if you start using Juul or vape products or cigarettes, you know, that money that you should be spending to go to the movies or go to Starbucks with your friends or just to go hang out and go eat food, go to IHOP, you know, whatever the case may be, you're actually spending on a product that gets you sick. You're spending it on a product that is putting you at risk. And you're making the tobacco companies, the vape companies richer. You're giving them all your money so that they can have the life of luxury while you're getting yourself sick, and you're making it harder to achieve your goals in certain ways. So it is a waste of money. And then it can also lead to other things. You know, we're hearing, you know, reports of students stealing vapes from each other or stealing cash from mom and dad to buy, you know, more pods and things like that. And it just leads to more negative behavior because it's an addictive product. And addictive products are really, really hard to quit. That's why we're always telling our kids, you know, it's not worth the risk. We don't know what the outcome will be for you, so why risk it? So it's a lot. And leading into that, I wanted to ask you guys, why do you think teens are trying tobacco and vape products?
So teens nowadays just try new things. We're naive. We don't know what we're doing. The simple fact that we're young makes us like invincible to new things. We think that, like Audra said, it's not gonna harm us or it's not gonna do anything to us. But just the simple fact that you're going to the party and you see that someone is chewing or smoking or using a cigarette, that makes you want to do it. Why? Because they look cool, but really they don't.
Yeah, so like Juan said, we're young, we're naive, we're willing to try whatever you put in front of us, really. So companies are just making profit off of our suffering, and that's really bad.
So I think a lot of tobacco users are attracted to the products because of all the advertising and everything that comes with it. They're using advertising with celebrities or young people, so we want to try it because we think it looks so cool that they're doing it, but we really don't know what's in them and what will harm us. So I think that's one of the main reasons why, and they feel like it might help them with everything else, but in reality it's just making things worse.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard. You know, peer pressure is one of those big topics that we hear. And it's true, right? So, like, we were having a discussion earlier, and they were letting me know that, you know, if you hang out with people that are juuling and vaping, you're more likely to try it, right? And, you know, it's true, but teens are really good at being stubborn. And it's one of those things, like, if mom or dad tells you to clean your room and you don't want to do it, y'all are going to protest it for a little bit and not do it, right? It's really easy to be stubborn. So it's one of those things where it's just letting teens know that you know, they can be stubborn against big tobacco. They don't have to try it. They don't have to try and fit in by doing negative activities. According to the Arizona Youth Behavioral Survey, which is a survey that's taken by 8th, 10th, and 12th graders throughout the state of Arizona, including our county, one of the top reasons that we kept seeing why students are engaging in tobacco, alcohol, other drugs in general, is because of stress and mental health. So, you know, they're trying to deal with different ways to cope to the stress, the anxiety, to all the different things that a teen goes through, and you guys go through quite a bit. But that's where we have to start that conversation of how is it that we're going to deal with our stress? How is it that we're going to deal with our anxiety, with our mental health conditions? You know, 1 in 5 youth will develop a mental health condition. It's common, it's normal, but we need to figure out different ways on how we can cope with it. And we'll kind of get into that and give you guys some ideas at the end, because we like to leave on a positive note. But, you know, that's kind of the big things. It's stress and trying to deal with mental health. Curiosity, boredom, peer pressure is huge, big part of it. The marketing, ginormous part of it. But it's really, you know, teens just trying to deal with a lot of stuff that's going on. Like Michelle said, they think it'll make them feel better, but it's really not. So how can parents help their teens say no to tobacco? I know we have a lot of parents that are probably watching this, so I'm going to try and see if they can give you some good advice.
So I would say just encourage your kids to talk to you. Don't be so hard on them when it comes to talking to you. Just encourage them to ask, to tell you how they're feeling, to tell you their problems. Don't pressure them into telling you things, because then they're not going to want to do it. Just be open to the ideas. If you are angry at them, just try to conceive it a little bit and not show it when you're talking to them. Maybe afterwards you can give them some advice or you can help them out a little bit. But I would say just be more open and just be more considerate.
So just give them a call. Just say, ¿Cómo estás, mijito? Where are you? What you're doing? Those little kind of things make a big difference. Why? Because you're letting them know that you're paying attention to them. You're paying attention to what they're doing, and just check up on them when they get home. That's all.
It's really important for parents, especially in our day and age, to have open communication with their kids. It seems like in our day and age that juniors and seniors, they kind of want to stray away from their parents, be a little more independent. Very important for parents to know where they're going, who they're hanging out with, what they're doing, because a teen can tell you that they're just going to go to the movies with their friends, when in reality they're going to go find somewhere where they could just go smoke for a few hours. It's important for parents to know that the addiction of some teens it's getting so bad that they can't go an hour without vaping, so they secretly do it in the classrooms when the teacher isn't looking, or when they step out for a few minutes, or they're doing it in the bathrooms in the stalls hiding from other people. So it's important that parents are aware of that. And because parents are so much older than us, and I know it's hard to believe, but they were teenagers at one point, they know what we're talking about. They've been through peer pressure before. They've had to deal with it. So they can give us advice on how to deal with it, and just for them to know that we can go to them when we need advice.
Okay, parents, that's a lot, right? But it's good information. You know, it's tough to be a parent, but basically, you know, parents just need to be informed. And parents, it sounds like that teens do want you to check in on them, right? I know they're all about privacy all the time, but checking in on your students, paying attention to changes to their behavior. Audra made a good point on know who their friends are. Who is it that they're hanging out? Who are their parents? Being more involved in those different ways, so that as parents, you guys can work together to protect your kids. You know, I think sometimes for parents, you know, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, but you guys have a lot of opportunity to work together to keep our kids safe. Especially with vape and Juul, you know, it's a big topic, but it's a topic that can be easily discussed. You know, just get some information, get some resources, but have that open-ended conversations with your teens. I would recommend trying not to scare them, but try to inform them. And if you don't know what to say, let me know. That's my job at Mariposa Clinic, is to do tobacco education prevention, and I can get you in contact with some resources that can be beneficial for that. But parents, you know, I commend you. It is hard. It is new, but it's still the same old tobacco problem. It's just coming in a new, different package, right? It's electric. It's instant, but it's the same thing. So let's I'm gonna ask you guys another question real quick. How would you help a friend say no to tobacco? So if you guys are in a group setting, or your friend is asking you for the advice, how would you help them say no? Because I know it can be kind of intimidating sometimes.
So I myself, if I was with a friend and we were being pressured by others to try it, I know that I would have the strength to get up and leave, because I wouldn't feel wanted there. I wouldn't want to do it. And I would kind of force my friend to go with me, because once they fall into that trap, there's no coming out of it.
Yeah.
So as you said, Ryan, peer pressure is a pretty big thing right now. And just like when you say no, they're trying to force you to do it, but in reality, you know that it's bad. So just telling your friend that it's bad, it's not enough. Sometimes you even have to go to length to pull them out and tell them no, because it's better not to than do it.
Yeah.
Just say no.
Awesome.
So I personally would just be very direct and very like straightforward, and just say no, I don't want to. Like, if you want to do it, that's fine, but don't pull me into it. And if that doesn't work, I would just bring myself out of the situation, and also like watch out for like people who are just giving you negative vibes and just are not giving you a positive attitude, and they're not doing anything that's gonna help you out and that's gonna uplift you, because they're just bringing you down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Audra.
So I don't know about Michelle and Juan, but I myself have been in the situation where I have been peer pressured to try a Juul when I was in class at school. It happened, the teacher was right there, we were surrounded by other people, and I got myself away from that situation. I left the person, I went to the other side of the room, and I'm glad that I did it, because it would have changed my life completely if I had picked up the Juul.
Exactly. You know, it's not easy, right? But being clear, being direct, and standing your ground is huge. A lot of times, right, you guys, in social situations, people will accept no for an answer. Sometimes people might tease you, but then you have to reevaluate, is that really a true friend, right? Like, a true friend would understand. And And, you know, that's an opportunity, you know, to talk to your friends about the reasons why not to do it and kind of share that education. Just a couple things. So I work a lot with our school districts, and we're, you know, focusing on vape and Juul. So we are trying to manage that. We're hearing a lot of activity where students are hiding it, the use in school, but we're working with our schools on education and prevention and better ways to handle those situations. So, you know, our schools have a lot on their plate, and I commend them for the work that they're doing, and, you know, it's a group effort. So we're trying to do our part, schools are doing their part. Parents, I invite you to raise your voice of concern if you have any. Let's see, so my last question for you guys is, what are the activities you guys are doing instead of vaping and smoking? So what are you guys doing to be cool, to be healthy, to have fun? What is it?
So to not vape, it's you have to have a lot of willpower, obviously. So I applaud the people that don't do it. So for me not to do it, I love reading books. I go for a run. I'll play with my pets, or I'll spend time with my family, just watching a movie, spending quality time with each other.
Something that I really enjoy to do is CrossFit. I used to teach Michelle here like a year ago, and it really helped me out to be there. It relieves stress in a really positive way, and the people out there are very competitive. They surround themselves with good attitude and just help you out overall.
Awesome.
So I do CrossFit as well. It's really fun. It's competitive, and it encourages you to live a healthy lifestyle and surround yourself with people that uplift you and strive and help you become a better person. I like to do my homework. Well, I really don't like to, but it helps me distract myself. I hang out with my friends. I drink coffee. I watch movies.
Maybe too much coffee, Michelle.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much. And overall, just surrounding myself with positive people and people who are going to help me be a better person, and not with negative people, because if you hang out with negative people, you're probably going to do bad things, and you're probably going to pull yourself to those situations and start doing things that you're not supposed to and that you know they're wrong. So by surrounding yourself with good people, you're probably going to do something good. And also I would recommend just involving yourself in the community, talking to other people, educate them, learn something different, join a group, or maybe if you don't want to join it, you can support the activities. We know a great one.
Exactly. Right? So, you know, I mean, those are all super great examples. And, you know, it takes time, it takes effort and dedication, right? But by involving yourself in positive activities, you're just setting yourself up for positive outcomes. Some other ideas just for our viewers. Art is huge. So if you're into music, if you're into drawing, painting, pottery, arts and crafts, crocheting, knitting, you know, drama, theater, there's a lot of different ways that art can be a positive outlet for coping skills, for just having fun, and to avoid those situations where vaping or smoking might occur. If you like to cook, that's a great way. Hanging out with your pet. I know they're all pet lovers. Shout out to my pug named Freddie. You know, there's just lots of different things that you can do. Shout out to Oscar, by the way. You know, there's lots of different things that you guys can do to participate in different positive activities. So this kind of wraps up our show. A couple quick things, though. We are new on Twitter, so if you want to follow us at Mariposa Youth, please do give us a follow. We just launched our Twitter today, so there's not a lot of tweets on there, but we're working on it, and we'll be posting lots of facts, information, resources, let you know about our events and our activities as the year goes on. So please follow us at Mariposa Youth. You know, follow us, tweet us, reply, ask us questions through there if you have questions. Go for it. And other than that, thank you guys for joining. So, you know, huge round of applause. for each other. Like I said, this is Michelle, this is Juan, this is Audra. My name is Ryan Quick. I work at Mariposa Community Health Center in the Platicamos Salud or Community Health Services Department. If you ever need anything, let me know. And thank you, Edgardo, for letting us be on We Love Nogales.